And it's Travis Head.
Hey, someone sent me Buzz Rossfield's number. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Day Sports, where we're not about the X's and O's, but the show and goes. My name is Chris, and there are a few things to jump into sporting-wise this week. A little bit of rugby league, a little bit of punch-on, a little bit of Broncos, a little bit of this and that, honestly. So I'll timestamp it all, jump ahead to what you're interested in and what you're not. A little bit of Gussie Crichton, a little bit of Zac Lomax, you name it. There's a little bit for everybody in this cast. If you haven't been here before, though, make sure you do hit that like button. Hit it like you're going to fold some bloke. Hit that subscribe button as well. Goes a long way to help out and support the channel, boost it all up through the algorithm and all that sort of stuff. So goes a long way, and I do really appreciate it. But without further ado, I suppose we better get into it.
Not now.
This one is dragging on, I would say. And when I say that, I'm talking about the Zac Lomax, Melbourne Storm, Eels situation that's going on. And ideally, this is going to be the last time I speak about it until we get a definitive outcome. Like, imagine being an Eels fan though. You're scrolling through your emails, having a bit of a look. What's going on? Oh, there's a new email come out. Like, we get that excited about emails, but for the sake of this interpretation, we're going to go along with that. You're saying, oh, geez, what's that? New jersey, new membership? What's happening here? Oh, actually, no, we're taking Zac Lomax to court. But yeah, really weird situation. I didn't expect it to come to this at all. I really thought they were going to be able to figure out something, whether it was get a player from the Melbourne Storm, the Eels were eventually going to cave on it, the NRL was going to step in. Like, there was all these other scenarios, and I thought the whole, potential lawsuit, whether that was started from Zach's side of things to try to get past all this, or from the Eels sort of thing. I just never thought it was actually going to get that far. I didn't think the Eels were going to accept 200k like the Storm was trying to throw up either, but it's kind of got to this between a rock and a hard place, I suppose, for Zach, for the Eels, maybe not so much for the Storm. They got their options, but it looks like at this point, basically the Eels are going to be holding Zach accountable for the agreement that they had, the contract, whatever's in writing, that pretty much ended for them when he decided, okay, I want to explore greener pastures. I want to go try to get that big moolah baby over in the union world, an R360 that fell flat on its face and didn't really work out. Now, what I don't understand is, why he's not making a move towards union in general, if that is something that he's looking to pursue. You got the World Cup coming up. I'm not saying that he'd ever make it into that side again, but that's purely just because I know nothing about rugby union at all. He could be really good at it, he could not, he could be average. It's really hard to say. But he'd be able to get some big money, surely, and just do what Marky Mark's done. Go off to Japan, get that big fat stack, and be happy days. But instead, the Storm are trying to poach him for next to nothing. And the Eels are basically having to stand on business and go, look, we cannot have you bending us over like that. We cannot have this situation fold out like this, Zach. We're sorry. We're going to have to go head on this. So I think it's sometime, is it this month or is it just before the trials? Either way, meeting at court. I don't want to talk about it until that. But good from the Eels, putting their foot down a little bit, saying, no, we can't have this because, bit of a serial contract breaker. He's done it a few times. And this isn't even directed, straight towards that. But you just can't have players breaking contracts willy-nilly, going, actually, I'm going to bounce, and then decide to join another NRL team, which the Eels were trying to protect themselves against. And it's all just kind of snowballed into the shit show. So you can understand it from their perspective. You're like, well, we let you go, gave you the benefit of the doubt, and now you're looking to come back to fist us in round one. I would honestly like to see the lawsuit thrown out, though. I know the Eels want to stand up for what's right, hold him accountable and everything like that, but selfishly, I'd like to see him play in round one. And if the Melbourne Storm manage to pick up Zac Lomax, round one is going to be proper blockbuster footy. It is going to be unreal. I want to see Lomax bowl in round one this year. Historically, Storm have gone out there and absolutely fisted the Eels. If they needed something to rev them up like nothing else possibly would, it'd be coming up against Zac Lomax after everything that's happened over the last month, or the last couple months anyway. It would be absolutely unreal. I want to see Rylesy just like Sticky Ricky a couple years ago in the change rooms where he just had fucking posters everywhere. Instead of that, I'd like to see printouts of Zac Lomax's head plastered all over the locker room on the whiteboard just saying fold him. That's what I want to see in round one. Like, the amount of people that would be tuning in to see that game would just be ridiculous. Ratings in round one, absolutely skyrocketing. Like, it is proper rugby league soap opera, and I would like to see it. Kotoni Staggs has been running it straight and folding people in this preseason. It's a nice visual for a Brisbane Broncos fan that he's really got his shoulders in, he's got his eye, and he's putting people on their ass. So Staggs did some content with a brand called rood.skin. So they look like they're up and coming, starting out their own thing, and they're just getting the ball rolling marketing, social media wise. I'm not too sure if the Broncos players are potential, like, part owners or whatever, because there's a few of them connected, or if they're just involved. So you got Jesse Arthurs, Kotoni Staggs, and Renault all been involved in this brand, or whichever capacity they're doing. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on any of that. But they did a little video the other day, a little run it straight challenge with Kotoni Staggs, and I'm assuming one of the co-founders or the owner, founder, whoever it might be from rood.skin. I originally saw it as well, following Kotoni Staggs, and I was like, ooh, he absolutely folded that bloke. That's rough. Cool Brown, whatever, move on. Not the end of the world, and maybe not the outcome that they're actually looking for as well from that sort of marketing. But the next day or so, I start seeing articles all over the place just blowing it out of proportion. Like, it goes from run it straight challenge, funny video, good content, to stuff from Fox League, Courier Mail, Daily Mail, all this just being like crazy, participating in this deadly challenge, like NRL superstar. There was even, I think it was from the Daily Mail, saying that he left the bloke unconscious. He's actually flatlined him so far to leave him unconscious, which, I'm no expert, but last I saw he wasn't exactly out cold. If they took 2.5 seconds looking at any other video that they've basically done on this rood.skin, it's always been, oh, you've fucked my neck, you've done this, you've done that. It's all just, part of the videos that they're making. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun for us to maybe have a little bit of a reaction live and actually see what we're working with.
I'm about to fold you, bro.
Let's go, brother.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that is brutal. That is brutal. The cameraman getting the good shots. He must have a mic on him or something, or a good microphone, because that connection, just that sweet spot, ball and all, textbook tackle, absolutely beautiful from Kotoni. That's all you can ask for in your centre, honestly. Like, you got your Australian centre there folding people like camp chairs. Brilliant stuff. But honestly, I think I'd almost run it straight at the old cruiser parked in the background before I'd run it straight at Kotoni Staggs. Like, he's walked past me on the street before, and I was blown away by how thick the man's chest is. Like, it's shit, probably about at least this thick. Like, side on view, you're looking at this. So yeah, fuck running at him. Props to the fella that did. But all the fucking drama and head noise that come out of it, like, just let the boys have a bit of fun. It's brilliant marketing, and I'm going to round up for the sake of it, but the video's got close to 1 million views, which is unreal. Exactly what they would have been aiming for, which has worked perfectly. It's ended up in all these articles. It's ended up in the papers, news, you name it. Like, unreal stuff. So absolute props to rood.skin. They nailed it there. The only thing that I'm disappointed about, again, going back and having a look at their other content, they've done a little bit with Renault, is that there wasn't any articles about Renault wrestling, putting people in guillotines and just about popping their heads off, doing their necks and all that. It was also no whipping it on a BMX and smoking cigars at the same time. Yeah, it goes to show with Renault, though, there's a little bit of fuck around and find out on the footy field. If you try to get in a bit of a wrestle with him, he's just going to pull guard, sink in the guillotine and just have you tapping. He's going to have you out, no worries at all. But yeah, just bizarre. Like, some of the stuff in those articles is like, come on, guys, it's clearly a shoot. Yeah, he did get folded, sure, but you know what, Kotoni Staggs is a professional NRL player. He's not like running it straight aimlessly, just trying to like shoulder charge people. Like, ball and all, beautiful tackle, let's move on. While we're talking about Broncos folding people, they've still been, I think they're back now, but they were still out west Queensland. And when I say West Queensland, Toowoomba way, but out in the sticks, out in the farms, out in the paddocks, getting a little bit of training and a bit of touch grass, as we talked about last week. But they've been doing some real hard jacket, blue collar stuff, sheep shearing and the likes, which I love to see. As a Broncos fan, seeing your boys really get down to earth into the nitty gritty sort of stuff leading into the preseason and leading into the season is exactly what you want to see. But then you got guys as well like All Blacks Tougher, who's out there dragging sheep around. The boys are shearing sheep and all this sort of stuff, and they look right at home doing it. I'm really excited to see how All Blacks goes this season. I think he's going to be in the starting team, in the top 17, no worries at all. Thank you very much for coming. But with everything going on with Brendan Piakura, which we're not 100% sure what's going on with Brendan Piakura, you got journos and the Broncos releasing statements saying that he needed a clean out or surgery on knee and blah, 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 and he's out for 8 weeks. But then you got Brendan Piakura jumping on Instagram being like, yeah, nah, not actually out for 8 weeks, bruh. Already running, sprinting, actually climbing mountains, doing whatever the hell I want. So I don't know who to believe there, whether it's the player, the club, or whatever the bloody hell's going on. So if he is injured, then obviously that left edge needs to be filled in somewhere. And if All Blacks is going to be that man, I would love to see it because he's just a powerhouse. And I think there really is a little bit of method to madness when it comes to what teams are posting on social media, and they are blasting All Blacks. They're just like, yes, son, more. And maybe that's just because he's new to the club this season, but I swear, like, it correlates with the teams that they name or the players that are more likely to go on and play. That might be some tinfoil hat shit, I'm not too sure, but I'd love to see him go. You know, all reports are the usual. He was training the house down, but apparently he's an absolute animal at training, and that's the sort of stuff that it seems like would impress Michael Maguire or Madge. He's type of player, tough, gritty, and I like that. That's what we need in the Broncos. We need some enforcers, and he's exactly that. So we'll see what happens when the season kicks off and it all gets named, particularly, you know, in England and whatever else. But if Brendy, you know, depending on how injured he is, hopefully he heals up quickly, you know, sprinting, running, jumping, leaping, you name it. So good stuff from him. Poor Ben Hunt. He's been going through it in the preseason, it seems. Now, I'm not questioning his ability, his toughness, his mental toughness, anything like that, but he's done 17 or 18 or so preseasons at this stage. 2 in a row now with Madge Maguire, middle of summer, just pumping out the reps there at training. He's like, yeah, look, in preseason, retirement's starting to look a little bit like it, and I can't blame him. Imagine doing that many preseasons. You got your ring, you've done the fairy tale story. We're going back to back, so that's all sweet. But yeah, Madge might have finally broken Ben Hunt. Spoke about it a little bit last week about the idea of, and it's not like it's rocket science sort of groundbreaking stuff, but the idea of more like high profile leagueies going over to Union. Didn't clip it up. Pretty much next day, bang, Angus Crichton signed with the Waratahs, hopefully playing in the World Cup in 2027. 2-year deal, fat stack and Benjis. Love to see it. But again, I think we are going to see this more and more. You know, there are a few of those sort of players that either grew up playing Union or whatever, coming off contract. But honestly, at this stage, I feel like the Roosters need to create their own Union franchise. They've lost half of their team recently. Like the amount of players that are bailing and heading over to Union. It sounds like Gus is a good chance to come back, but you never know. Again, you know, if you got overseas throwing big coin at him, that might be able to, you know, keep him going. And the thing is as well, like he's kind of been there, done that, been everywhere. He's played for the Australian team, obviously done it all in Origin, done it in Clubland, played for a couple teams. Like, probably not too much else to do. Like, playing a World Cup would be pretty cool. So, yeah, good for him. But no, honestly, old Nicky Politis, Lord knows he's got the coin. He could definitely start some sort of Union franchise, buy a team, make a team, whatever you want to do, because those players, they're going quick. I'm trying to think. There's probably not really anyone else that's going to be going from the Roosters. Surely they can't be losing anybody else. But look, you never know. And last little thing for this episode, we got punch-ons of all sorts happening on the weekend, particularly on Sunday. I think it's at 5 a.m. if I got the time right, but the WWE Royal Rumble kicks off. I've got a mate flying down from Gladstone for it. Super keen. Well, not just for that, just to hang out and do whatever, but 5 a.m. when it kicks off, espresso martinis, that's going to be the coffee of the morning. That's a great way to start the day. A little bit of Royal Rumble. I'm kind of hoping that Seth Rollins comes back into it, comes back from injury. I think he tore his rotator cuff or something like that. So basically, though, we're going from scripted punch-ons, Royal Rumble, great time WWE. You build that in, couple beers under your belt, and you roll nicely into UFC 325 with Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. The UFC that just went was an amazing card. The fight between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje was just ridiculous. How Paddy Pimblett survived Gaethje, I have no idea. Like, I had him down to get a KO, didn't get it. Any other bloke would have been snoring within the first round even. Like, the way that Gaethje went about it. But I'm super keen for this UFC this weekend. It's great when they're back in Australia. The Sydney card's awesome. Plenty of Australian Kiwi fighters. Heaps of great fights on there. Hopefully everyone makes weight and everything goes sweet. I am just going to give my predictions for the Volk Lopes fight though, because I don't have all day to sit going through fights. But it's the second time they're going up against each other. A lot of people thought this one might be Volk's retirement fight, but apparently he's going, yeah, nah, I'm going to keep punching on with people. Thank you very much. It's a shame they didn't get Robert Whittaker or Israel Adesanya on this card, but you know, you can't do everything. Rob, I think, might be a bit of a star in Korea by the seams of it now, so he might have a media life beyond the sport already happening. But yeah, second time for them fighting. The first fight, people had a lot of questions, I suppose, around Volk coming off a couple bad knockout losses, losing titles, you know, all sorts of talk about him being washed, and he had so much to prove. And I think anyone that really knows this shit is like, yeah, Volk is the better fighter. There's not really an area, I don't think, that Lopes has it over Volk. You know, you might be able to argue knockout power potentially, but like, yeah, Volk flatlines people as well. So who's to say? The only thing that could even potentially be a problem would be Volk. He's getting older. It is what it is. He's cooking with bricks, cooking with Volk, but I'm seeing my boy Volk get it done. Yeah, I feel like I want Volk for TKO KO. He can definitely put the volume on him. He can touch him up. His ground and pound is nasty, and I think he is going to be that better fighter. It is scary, just even the thought of him getting knocked down or anything, but it has been a while between fights. I think he's going to be in the best shape of his life, but I think it is going to be a tough one. Diego Lopes does hit pretty hard, but I think Volk's just going to be 2 steps ahead of him the entire way. Again, I just don't think there's going to be anything that he's going to do for him. He's going to do it for Australia. He's going to be, and still, Volk, he's just too good, and especially if he continues on fighting, the amount of cool matchups and whatever else, like, he's leaps and bounds. He's the go to featherweight. It is what it is. Like, there's no other argument. So yeah, very keen for that one. Dan Hooker's going to be on that card as well as the co-main event. Dan Hooker's always a great time to watch. So yeah, Tai Tuivasa's back as well. I low-key don't think he's going to win. I think he's going to get knocked out. I'm definitely going to be putting that fight not to go all the way to the decision. It's not going to make it to the end. But yeah, all sorts going on. Make sure you follow the socials. Again, subscribe if you got this far. Appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you all next week.